Hello. So, I'm here with my cozy blanket, um, and with a pair of glasses, literally to make myself look slightly more like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Um, but yes, I wanted to make a very quick, because I don't know that much what to say. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I am going to speak about what I thought of The Substance, the new film. I don't actually know how new it is, but I think it's quite new, with Demi Moore, and what I thought about it. And the reason I'm laughing is because I am so incredibly easily spooked. I I am one of the most easily spooked people in the world. Actually, that's really dramatic, but I am. I'm a bit of a sensey. I'm very sensitive to lots of things, but I'm quite a sensitive soul. In other ways, I'm surprisingly tough, but nonetheless, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, what I was going to say, the reason I went to go laugh is because as I even mention it, I freak myself out. Um, so the gist, I don't know whether I will be doing spoilers or not, but I guess afterwards I will know. The gist is this. I think it was a very well done film. Yes. I think Demi Moore was amazing. I think the message was conveyed well. It was absolutely captivating. I was never bored at any point, even though it did have quite a slow feel at the beginning. It was very you know, it's about the pressures on women, arguably the pressures on anybody, but the pressures on women, about kind of staying young and beautiful, and therefore it was really easy to relate to that message. So it wasn't, it captured my interest for a long time. I wish I could have not seen it though, and that is the fact. The reason I went to go and see it in the first place, because I'm not really a horror person, is because my sister saw it. She found it quite shocking. Not that much shocks her. She found it quite shocking. She needed a few days, and then she was like, I've decided I love it. Now, what she loved about it was that she loved the fact that she felt that it conveyed what is often quite a gory experience for women, say particularly with menstruation and stuff like that, and a very painful and a very upsetting time. She felt it kind of almost conveyed that, kind of conveyed her experience there. So almost quite cathartic in a way. I I found it really distressing, upsetting, and depressing. And I'm actually, I actually don't like to come in with a negative thing about a film that's either loved, or a film that's really clever, or a film that has had a lot of thought put into it. I just found it simply to be all of those things, and I wish I could erase it from my head, because it was, to me, so upsetting that here still. And yes, you could argue that's a good thing, but for me it's like, I don't really think I needed that. I don't really think my brain needed that. I don't know if anybody else relates. But in the sense of kind of the feeling the pressures, living in a society that is misogynistic, seeing it portrayed, seeing the hatred, seeing the all of it, it's just too close to home. It's just too close to home. It's made to look silly and like a joke, but it's too close to home. It's this close. It's this close from my day-to-day experience, but just turned into a horror. So I kind of didn't really need it. That's kind of how I felt. Also, the audience in the theatre found a lot of the scenes that I found to be the most upsetting, they found it hilarious. And I absolutely each to their own, but like laughing is an audible reaction, just in the same way crying is. But like their reaction I could hear, where I was feeling something very different. I didn't feel like laughing. I felt very, very disturbed and very upset. And so kind of hearing people like pee themselves laughing at something, even if it was because they were in shock, I was just kind of like, I just want to close my ears because I'm having quite a different experience to you, and that was quite overwhelming. There was a part, I guess you could say, 20 minutes towards the end, which I think a lot of people find quite, I mean, a lot of it is, but there was a part there where I was like, I kind of almost felt in shock, and I was like, really, I felt my heart pound, and I was like, I think I need to leave. I think I need to leave the theatre. And then got to the train station, and my brain was just entirely numb. Like I felt totally spaced out. Yeah. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It was clever. It sure had an impact. It was what it set out to be, I think. I really do think. However, in all conscience, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it because it made me feel funny. But that being said, if those issues don't feel particularly too close to home to you, then you might really enjoy it. It might be a very kind of eye-opening film. But if it feels too close to your day-to-day experience, there's not really like a redemption arc. I don't know, sorry, that is a little bit of a spoiler, but like I didn't deem it as a redemption arc. There arguably is, but I didn't feel it. So those are my thoughts on The Substance. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that lots of people love it. I've seen lots of people found it really funny. I'm not trying to be a contrary Mary, I promise you, but it just affected me. And if I could go back in time and not watch it, I would. But I think Demi Moore is a very brave actress, and it was an incredible piece. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. I think it was clever, but I didn't like it. There we go. Those are my thoughts on The Substance.